yourself is, to me, the song talks about how to be yourself is all that you can do, and that's more of a wish than it's what it is that we actually do. Maybe people who are not quite as sensitive as other one of us, don't have problems being themselves, because they don't quite sort of vividly feel how everybody else reacts to what you're doing. But for those of us who are on the sensitive side of the spectrum, I feel like we do a lot of fitting in, and fitting in is, by its nature, it's a compromise. So you do fit into your school or your job, and you fit into your relationships, your family, and if anything, it's rare to be any social circumstance where you are truly wholly who you are. It's just we are at best selectively showing parts of ourselves to the surface, and a lot of times we are just faking. We are just sort of fitting in, just reducing ourselves to something that we are not, and just playing along, being acceptable, and not being who we are. And this is not a very entirely comforting song. I mean, he even says how everything will end up alright, but I mean that doesn't come across as that comforting after being presented with this series of people who are hurt and in bad shape. But yet to be yourself still is, as much as it sounds like a cliche, it's still the answer in that. So you turn yourself into something you're not, and then you make peace with your situation. But there is, of course, an inner tension or conflict going, well, this doesn't really suit me, but I'm just here to make peace, to play it safe. And that is reducing both your joy that you can experience in life and the impact that you can create to the world at large. Your offering gets reduced by that much. And to be yourself, it's like so let's say you're in a school with a social groups, or in a job, and you kind of realize that the situation you're in is really not allowing yourself to be who you are, and then you're kind of like, this doesn't work for me, this is not connecting, I'm going to, if not outright reject it, I'm going to reduce this, I'm going to look somewhere else to see where I can make better connection, where I fit in better without changing who I am, or look for a place where who I am belongs. And of course, I mean, that's a lifelong journey, but the thing is, we don't necessarily choose who we are. It's like what we like, who we are, how we think, what gifts or talents we have. I mean, these are not necessarily something that we choose to make ourselves. These are something that is sort of built into each of us, and then we kind of discover what we do about it along the way. And of course, there's an environmental thing, and then of course the genetic thing, and there's a whole debate about nature versus nurture and whatever. But really, ultimately, my view on this is that we discover who we are, and then we learn to deal with it. And in that process of learning to deal with it, to discover who we are and to allow ourselves to be who we are, so we are more at our natural state, we are at our full capacity, we are fully embodied and realized, you make choices, and those choices involve whether you sort of compromise who you are and make peace with your immediate surrounding, or you honor who you are and make choices that may cause tension or stir up undesired feelings around you or in yourself. But think about this. So you compromise and you fit in, or you honor yourself and you stick out, or create conflicts. I mean, neither. It does seem like it's a no-win situation. Either way, you're kind of stuck in a bad place. But only one has a chance of a better ending. So hence the refrain here is, to be yourself is all that you can do. One of the wisest thing that I've heard in my life, my mentor from my college days, told me, we were talking about like, what you want to do with your life and with your career and stuff like that. And he said, where your career lies is where your needs and the world's needs meet. And that has always struck me as such profound realization, in that by knowing and learning who you are and what your needs are, and then sort of gather your courage to honor it, but then also look for a place where meeting your needs also meet the needs of the world, or your immediate surrounding, or your community, or the society you belong in. You find yourself in the sweet spot where everybody wins, and that's a dream. That's an ideal, but if you don't know anybody personally, I mean, at least I hope that you have heard of people who have found those spots. At least I keep holding on to that hope that it exists for me and for my loved ones, but really for everybody. And again, how do you get there is to be yourself. If you don't learn who you are, if you don't honor your needs, if you don't follow your instincts, there's no chance to come out on the top at the end. So you resign yourself to that defeat, or you go for the chance to win. We all have that choice. It's a daily choice. It's a moment to moment choice, and we don't all get it right, but it's important to keep that in mind.